Hello everyone, welcome to Multilingual. My name is Karina. I'm an English language trainer and Cambridge examiner. In today's video, I'd like to show you how you can make your language sound more casual by using phrasal verbs. Let's go. First, let's say what phrasal verbs are. Well, basically, they're verbs with prepositions. You can take a verb, add different prepositions to it, and it will change its meaning. It's magic. A very simple example would be with the verb look. If you look at something, you actually see something, right? If somebody tells you, look out, then you have to be careful. If you look up a word in the dictionary, it means that you check its meaning. If you look for something, you search for it. If you look after a baby or a sick person, you take care of them. If you look forward to something, you can't wait till it actually happens. You anticipate something. For example, I'm looking forward to my holiday in Spain. It's next week. I can't wait. So you see, by changing the preposition, you change the meaning. So we have look at, look out, look for, look after, look up, look forward to. But today we're not just looking at the verb look. I actually would like to introduce 9 commonly used phrasal verbs that I think can be useful for you to upgrade your vocabulary. These are the phrasal verbs you're going to learn in this video. Get on with somebody. Cut back on something. Come up with something. Point something out. Mess something up. Make up with somebody. To pick something up. And it's not about picking somebody up at the airport. I'm sure you know this meaning. Figure something out and catch up with somebody. In the description box down below, you'll find timestamps. If you're short of time, you can jump to the phrasal verb you're interested in. If you have more time today, then watch this video completely. And now, without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, let's begin with the first one. Here is the situation. As a kid, I didn't have a very good relationship with my siblings. We used to argue a lot about everything. But now, as an adult, I understand how important it is to have family around you. So, in the first sentence, you can see some words in bold. Didn't have a very good relationship with. We can replace this phrase with the phrasal verb get on well with somebody. And that's how the sentence will change. As a kid, I didn't get on well with my siblings. We used to argue a lot about everything. But now, as an adult, I understand how important it is to have family around you. So, if you get on well with somebody, you have a good relationship with this person. You can also make it negative and say, we don't get on well. And if you want to ask someone about their relationships, you can say, how are you getting on? Hey Mark, how are you getting on with your new girlfriend? Or, are you getting on well? So this was the phrasal verb about relationships. And remember, you can only say get on well or don't get on well. So you cannot say get on bad or get on badly. You get on well with somebody, or the opposite, you don't get on well with somebody. And now let's move on to the next one. Here is the next situation. I've been working too much recently, and I feel like I'm getting drained and tired of the daily errands I have to run. I probably should reduce the amount of work I do every day in order to not get burned out. In this example, the underlined verb is reduce. We can replace it with the phrasal verb cut back on. This is how it will sound. I've been working too much recently, and I feel like I'm getting drained and tired of the daily errands I have to run. I probably should cut back on the amount of work I do every day in order to not get burned out. So the phrasal verb cut back on something means reduce something, minimize, decrease. More examples of how you can use it. For example, if you put on weight, you probably should cut back on carbohydrates, like sugary foods or pasta. If you suffer from a hangover following a night of drinking, you have to cut back on alcohol. If you want to save more money for your retirement, you have to cut back on your spendings. If you can't stop smoking completely, you at least can try to cut back. You can also use another phrasal verb here, cut down. So with the preposition down. For example, his doctor advised him to cut down his working hours. Or his doctor advised him to cut back on his working hours. Both mean the same. So this was the phrasal verb cut back on or cut down in the meaning of reduce something. And now let's go to the next one. We have a new employee in our company. His name is Jack, and he is such a smart cookie. Whenever we have to brainstorm something at the meeting, he always thinks of the best ideas. Look at the underlined verb think of. We can replace it with a nice phrasal verb to come up with. You can come up with an idea, or come up with a solution, or come up with a plan. And this is how this example might sound with the phrasal verb. We have a new employee in our company. His name is Jack, and he is such a smart cookie. Whenever we have to brainstorm something at the meeting, he always comes up with the best ideas. And now some other examples with this phrasal verb. If we want to land this client, we have to come up with a better strategy. This cake looks fantastic. Who came up with this decoration? This teacher is outstanding. She always comes up with the best explanations. Guys, if you like my explanations and this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. And if you can come up with an idea for another video on my channel, let me know it in the comments down below. And now let's move on to the next phrasal verb, number 4. Dear passengers of our safari tour, I'd like to tell you that you have to be careful throughout the drive. Please stay seated and don't reach out your arms or legs to the animals. Thank you. In this example, the verb tell should be replaced with the phrasal verb to point something out. If you point something out, you tell people about some important information that they might have forgotten or don't know about yet. This is how the example would sound a little bit better. Dear passengers of our safari tour, I'd like to point out that you have to be careful throughout the drive. Please stay seated and don't reach out your arms or legs to the animals. Thank you. And some other examples with the phrasal verb to point something out. When they asked me about my food preferences, I had to point out that I'm vegan. You can use it in a business context as well by saying, look at this graph. I'd like to point out that our sales numbers have risen. Or at school, the teacher has pointed out some major mistakes in my speaking. So this was the phrasal verb to point something out. I hope I could explain it so that you could understand it completely. And I would like to point out that you can find a lot more helpful videos on my YouTube channel. Whether you're interested in grammar or improving your vocabulary skills, just follow the link to the playlist. And now it's time to proceed to the next phrasal verb. Let's go. If we appoint Nick for this project, he will definitely ruin it, I'm afraid. I think we need to find someone else. So if you ruin something or fail it, you mess it up. The next phrasal verb for today is to mess something up. Let's put it into our sentence with Nick now. If we appoint Nick for this project, he will definitely mess it up, I'm afraid. We need to find someone else. Please be careful with the pronoun it. Pronouns always have to be put between the verb and the preposition. That means you cannot say he will definitely mess up it. It's even quite difficult to say this, but still. But he will definitely mess it up. Be careful there, please. Some other examples with this phrasal verb. How was the exam last Monday? Don't ask me. I'm sure I've messed it up. So this means that she thinks she has failed it. You can also use mess up in this context. The coronavirus messed up my body. I couldn't smell for months. So it influenced your body in a very negative way. Another example. It's an important interview. Don't mess it up. So don't ruin it. Don't fail. Try to be successful. So this was the phrasal verb to mess something up. And now let's move on to the next one. Look at this situation here. My friends Julia and Tom have had their ups and downs throughout long years of their relationship. But you know what? The good thing about them is that they always forgive each other. If you become friends after an argument or a disagreement and you forgive each other, it means that you make up with each other. The phrasal verb to make up with somebody means that you get on well with each other again. Get on well with somebody, remember? This was the first phrasal verb we learned today. So this is how the initial example would sound with the phrasal verb. My friends Julie and Tom have had their ups and downs through long years of their relationship. But you know what? The good thing about them is that they always make up. You can also use this phrase, I like it a lot. You can say, kiss and make up. They argue a lot, but they always kiss and make up afterwards. It's time to forget our row. Let's kiss and make up. So guys, there is no need to be resentful. Just kiss and make up. It has been raining all day long. I'm fed up with this nasty weather. Hopefully it will get better by the weekend, because we're having a picnic with friends. Everyone knows the phrasal verb to pick something or somebody up, in the meaning of to collect somebody or something. But in today's video, I would like to offer you another meaning for this phrasal verb. To pick up means to get better or to improve. So let's replace the words get better with the phrasal verb pick up. It has been raining all day long. I'm fed up with this nasty weather. Hopefully it will pick up by the weekend, because we're having a picnic with friends. Some other examples with this phrasal verb. The moment she saw our accommodation, her mood picked up and she forgot the dreadful flight. So her mood improved. Another example. They won't let him out of hospital until his health condition picks up a bit. So you can also pick something up if you learn something new. I picked up some German words and phrases while living in Berlin, so I learned some German words and phrases. Or, where did you pick up those swear words? Or you can also pick up the conversation from the point where you stopped. You can say, let's pick up this conversation when I come back. So that was the phrasal verb to pick up, and now let's take the next one. Unfortunately, I was short of time and couldn't prepare for my Spanish classes. Therefore, I couldn't understand the vocabulary task we had to work on. So the underlined verb here is to understand, and it can be replaced with the phrasal verb to figure out. Unfortunately, I was short of time and couldn't prepare for my Spanish classes. Therefore, I couldn't figure out the vocabulary task we had to work on. The phrasal verb to figure something out can also mean that you are able or not able to solve a problem. I can't figure out the instructions to the washing machine. They seem to be too complicated, so I don't understand the instructions. I don't understand how they work. Another example. My car won't start. Can you figure out what's wrong? You can also figure somebody out. If you figure somebody out, it means that you understand what someone is like and why they behave in the way they do. For example, I still can't figure out my boss. She's just so unpredictable. Like, I can't understand my boss's behavior. She is too unpredictable. I don't know what's coming next. Tom is pretty easy to deal with. I figured him out straight. I could understand his behavior and how to work with him. So you can figure out, understand something or somebody. And now let's move on to the final phrasal verb for today. Hey Arne, shall we meet this Friday at 7? We haven't spoken for ages. I'd like to hear your latest news. Let me know if you can. In this message, we can replace the word meet with the phrasal verb catch up. It means that you meet someone in person or talk to someone on the phone. Another example for catch up is, let's catch up over the weekend, like let's meet over the weekend or talk to each other. You can also catch up with the latest news by reading the newspaper or listening to the radio or just talking to someone. You can also catch up with some information you've missed. For example, you were sick and you couldn't attend your English classes. That means you have to study the vocabulary or the grammar you've missed so that you catch up with the rest of the class. You can also catch up with the person who is ahead of you on the road. Look, it's our neighbor. Let's catch up with him and say hello. Another example, on the road. Can you speed up and catch up with the white Mercedes over there? Or, there is my colleague over there. Let me go catch up with him. Okay guys, those were 9 commonly used phrasal verbs. Why is it important to use them? Well, because they let you sound a little bit more casual, So you wouldn't use them a lot in a professional environment entirely, but you would say them a lot in informal situations. They are easy to use and they are more exact for the situation you want. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching this video and I see you next Monday. Bye guys!